on earth, gotta catch up Elijah Muhammad Ali, Farrakhan, Malcolm X. Now, man, what about me? Get your money, man. Get your bread up. Gotta do it for yourself. Know you fed up. Get your study on. All praise be to God. Stay read up. Die, never let up. Everyone that I'm run already know what I'm about. Build heaven on earth. Gotta catch up Elijah Muhammad Ali, Farrakhan, Malcolm X. Now, man, what about me? Be willing to die so that we can be free, man. If we don't produce, man, what we gonna eat? What we gonna eat? Yeah, man, what we gonna eat? What we gonna do if they cut off the street? If they block off them trucks, tell me what you gonna eat? What you gonna drink? See what I mean? What you gonna do? What I'ma do? I'ma stomach some food. Don't be a fool. That's Farrakhan lead. I'm in tune. Stay in the street, change a couple goons. I'm pushing the word, say I'm pushing the message. I'm blessing the game. Allah already blessed me. Find a car new, cause we got you, can't lose. Only $2, get news you can use. Heaven or hell, those conditions you choose. Come to the mosque, these are things we can prove. Get your money, man. Get your bread up. Gotta do it for yourself. Know you fed up. Get your study on. All praise be to God. Stay read up. I never let up. Everyone that I'm on already know what I'm about. Build heaven on earth. Gotta catch up Elijah Muhammad Ali, Farrakhan, Malcolm X. Now, man, what about me?
What's going on, family? What is going on? This is Tayler Jacobs on the Jacobs Show. I'm super duper excited. When I say super duper excited to do this show today, I'm excited to do it simply because I got my brother in the booth today. Chris, say hey.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. We're going to find out a lot about Chris here in a second, the moment that we can get our lighting set up. So in between time, let me play Brother Ben's song again, and then we're going to get this lighting together.
Get your study on. All praise be to God. Stay read up. Die, never let up. Everyone that I'm run already know what I'm about. Build heaven on earth. Gotta catch up Elijah Muhammad Ali, Farrakhan, Malcolm X. Now, man, what about me? I was shooting sports, now I'm shooting movies. Divine dreams, got a couple groupies. Ignore my text, see a chance to make some money. Hit me up, see how you do me. But I ain't tripping, I'ma play it cool. Act dumb, I'ma play a fool. A wise man said a wise man, he can play a fool and ain't fooling you. Look at this, y'all, cause y'all see that we slaves. Doing that job that you know that we hate, just so that we can get paid. Paying this girl to get laid, gon' end up 6 feet in the grave. See like we going insane. Yeah, man, I'm feeling your pain. When are we going to change? When are we going to change? When are we going to change? Get your money, man. Get your bread up. Gotta do it for yourself. Know you fed up. Get your study on. All praise be to God. Stay read up. Die, never let up. Everyone that I'm on already know what I'm about. Build heaven on earth. Gotta catch up Elijah Muhammad Ali, Farrakhan, Malcolm X. Now, man, what about me? Get your money, man. Get your bread up. Gotta do it for yourself. Know you fed up. Get your study on. All praise be to God. Stay read up. Die, never let up. Everyone that I'm on already know what I'm about. Build heaven on earth. Gotta catch up Elijah Muhammad Ali, Farrakhan, Malcolm X. Now, man, what about me?
What about me? Hey, I said, what about me? Hey, I said, what about me? That was my Brother Ben X we're on the Brother Ben X podcast. This is Tayler Jacobs, and I have my little brother Christopher right now. Say what's up.
Good morning.
Hold on, let me say it again.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And so I'm super duper excited to be sharing with you all. I'm super duper excited to be sharing with you all. My brother Christopher. I'm talking about, he's like my superhero. This is like my Superman. We're going to figure out what's going on with what's going on in society today, what's going on with the world. He was going to come anyway. He was going to come and hang out with me at the office, and we began to just kind of talk about some of the stuff. Just he and I just began to chat, and I just made it my decision to bring him on to the show so we can kind of talk with him. And so we're gonna kind of find out a little bit about why I fight the way that I fight, why I'm so passionate about telling people there is no such thing as excuses. It's because I grew up in a house with a little brother that had disabilities that didn't allow his disabilities to take advantage of him. And as you can see, he got this chocolatey skin right here. He got that chocolatey skin. We're going to talk about that here in a second. And so let's just get into it. Chris, say what's up to the world.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And so first and foremost, let me answer this question. Are you my brother?
Yes.
Okay. And how old are you?
Right now, I'm 26.
You're 26 years old. Okay, Chris. So let me ask you a question.
All right.
How long have you been blind?
Since birth.
You've been blind since birth. Okay, so that's all of your life, right?
That's right.
Okay, all of your life. And what is your profession?
My profession is playing music.
Your profession is playing music?
Yes.
Okay, try to hold the mic up just like that.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
So your profession is playing music?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you play music, and what do you play?
I play piano and the organ.
You play piano and the organ.
That's right.
Okay, and let's talk about this passion. When did you come to figure out that you actually like playing, the piano and the organ and stuff?
Well, since I was like 1 year old, I played the piano.
Uh-huh.
And then when I turned 16, I started playing the organ.
Okay, and who taught you how to play the organ?
I taught myself how to play the organ.
Wait a minute. You said that you taught yourself how to play the organ?
That's right.
So you being blind, and you also have autism, right?
Right.
Okay. And you taught yourself how to play the organ. Explain to us how difficult it is to play the organ.
Well, even though I started playing the organ,
Uh-huh.
and what I did was when I first got on the organ,
Uh-huh.
I put the keys,
Uh-huh.
and then on top of the organ, I
Uh-huh.
put the drawbars,
Uh-huh.
so I can figure out which drawbar goes to which keyboard,
Uh-huh.
like either the top or
Right.
the bottom.
Okay.
And then on the very bottom of the organ,
Uh-huh.
I play bass lines with my foot.
So wait. So you can't see the keys and you can't see the bass line and the pedals, but you're playing organ with keys and pedals that you can't see. Did I hear that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So this is a difficult thing, right? Because you gotta like keep up with your feet and then play with your fingers, and then you can't read music, so you have to listen
Right.
and learn by ear, right?
Right.
So talk to us about the process of you learning how to play music only by ear.
Like if I was on the organ,
Uh-huh.
and then if I hear music,
Uh-huh.
like on different cell phones, then I would play it on the organ.
Ah, so that's what so you remember when we used to have those ringtones on the little phone?
I remember that.
You remember that dun 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 dun.
I think I know
dun,
what song you're talking about.
dun 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 dun. What's that?
Sure.
I said, okay. What was another one of our favorite
Let's
ones
see.
that we used to listen to? What's another one of our favorite songs we used to listen to?
Yeah. Think.
So I'm gonna pull up right now.
Okay.
We're gonna pull up right now, Boogie. We're gonna pull up you playing, and I put you on my Instagram.
Okay.
And everyone, this is my little brother during March, Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. This is March, the Disability Awareness Month. My little brother is playing at a church. We're going to talk about that here in a second, okay?
All right.
But my little brother here is playing on the church. He's actually playing the piano. So let's listen in. Let's see what he got. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, my bad. So I got to pull it up on my phone so you guys can hear it. Because they can't hear it on the screen.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for them to see on the screen.
Yeah, it is kind of hard for them to see on the screen.
That was me playing on the organ.
That was you playing on the organ. So let's listen to it. Let's listen to it. This is the organ, right?
Right.
Okay. So this is you playing on the organ right now.
Right.
Wow. All right, so let me catch it up here, and let me stop it here. Boom. So let's talk about something real quick. Explain to me, you were smiling over here when you was listening to yourself play the organ. Why are you smiling so big?
Man, I never complain.
Okay, let's talk about that. He said you never complain. So you've been blind since birth. You're 26.
Right.
You have autism.
Right.
And you go about the world in a different way than the average person, right?
Right.
So, and then you have a saying that you say you never what?
I never complain. I never do.
And why don't you complain?
Cause see, I never get upset or anything.
And why don't you get upset?
Cause see, I don't like it when I get upset.
Okay, well, and why don't you like when you get upset?
Well, cause see, like I like it when I'm happy. And besides, I never complain.
Uh, uh, and I wanted you to come onto the show, and I wanted you to let everybody know, you know, that feeling, because you know a lot of people go through society, go through their life, Chris
Right.
Boogie, and they have all these excuses as to why they can't succeed and why they can't do this and why they can't do that, and they're complaining about their circumstance, while you're blind,
Right.
you can't see, you have autism, however you don't complain,
I sure don't.
and you learned how to play the organ by yourself.
Right.
Now, how'd you learn how to play the piano?
Well, let's see. I think mom taught me how to play the piano.
Yep. So mommy taught you how to play the piano, right?
Yeah.
And y'all, I got a funny story that mom used to have Chris's hands on her hands, and she used to be able to play the piano. And she has this saying that she feels like she gave her talents to my little brother Chris, because after she taught him how to play, she can't play anymore. She literally told me, she said, I don't know how to play anymore. And it was like she literally learned how to play the piano just so that my brother can be able to play. It seemed like she learned it just enough for my little brother to be able to play. And from there, she probably was teaching you. How long was mommy teaching you how to play the piano?
Let's see. I started at 1.5 years old.
Uh-huh. And then how long was mom teaching you until you started to kind of start doing it yourself?
Probably well, between 3 years, if I'm not mistaken.
So around like 5 or 6.
Right.
And then you started to kind of remember the keys that she gave you, and you took off from there.
Right.
So you're talking about at 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
At 5 or 6 years old, you as a blind man were now going on the piano and teaching yourself. And I remember, y'all, look, Chris, we used to have this piano in the living room. You remember that big wood piano in the living room?
Yes. And you know what?
What?
And even though I tested all of the piano keys, except the one of the strings broke.
You remember one? Yeah, one of the strings did break, and then you were like, playing on every key but that key. Remember that?
Right.
And he just kind of took it off from there. So you're talking about from 6 to 26, he's been on his own, teaching himself the piano, teaching himself how to play the organ. And when did you first hear an organ?
Well, I first heard in Oregon since I was 16 years old.
Since you were 16 years old.
That's right.
And then from 16 to 26, you taught yourself how to play the organ.
Right.
And let's tell the people, how much do you practice every single day?
Well, normally I would practice for like 30 minutes.
30 minutes. And then after 30 minutes, then you go and you get on your the computer and stuff like that.
Right.
And then you come back to the piano or the organ. So how many times a day do you come back and practice for 30 minutes?
Well, normally I would do like 3 times.
About 3 times of 30 minutes.
Right.
Full focus.
Yes.
So it doesn't take all day. You don't have to play the piano 8 hours. You just play 30 minutes about 3 or 4 times a day.
Right. And
now you're able to play the piano. So let me ask you a question. How many states have you been to where you played at a function, or you played at a church? How many states so far?
Well, let's see. Last year I went to New York City.
You went to New York City. Where'd you play?
Let's see. I played at the club.
You played at the club in New York. Where else have you played?
And I also played in California on my birthday.
Okay, you played in California. So New York, California, You played in Oklahoma, right?
Right.
You played in Oklahoma, and you currently play at a church,
right,
in Dallas, right?
right,
So you usually go to churches and you usually play.
right.
And so, what message would you want to give the people that are listening that feel like they can't succeed or they feel like it's too hard? What would you want to tell them?
Well, I want to tell them, like, it ain't that hard to play.
It ain't that hard to play,
Right.
right? And what advice would you give them?
Like, if I would give everyone some musical advice, like, if they don't know how to play the organ, I tell you, they can either call me or text me.
They can call you or text you, right?
Yes.
And you'll be able to help them out.
Yes.
Okay, but let me ask you this. So for people that want to go after their dreams, they want to chase their gifts that they feel like God gave them, but they're scared to do it. What would you say to them that are scared to just go after their dreams?
Well, if I were me, I would never complain.
You would never complain, right?
Right.
And you just go after it, right?
Right.
No excuses, right?
No excuses.
Because Mama said no excuses, didn't she?
That's right.
That's right. Mama didn't allow for us to complain. Mama didn't allow for us to be sad. Mama didn't allow for us to treat each other any different. She made all of us figure it out. Remember that?
Right.
Do you remember when Daddy used to we used to go into the store and Daddy used to leave you? You had to follow his flip-flops.
Right. and man, his flip-flop, I can't remember if it was loud or kind of soft. I can't quite remember.
and it's funny, Boogie, because we all used to look at Daddy and be like, you know he blind, right? Daddy be like, he need to just listen to my flip-flops. And then you'll just be walking in the store trying hard to listen to them flip-flops. You remember that?
Yes. What the world? What the world? Man, I couldn't figure out where Daddy was. But when I try to listen really, really hard.
You did a good job, though.
Yeah.
You did a good job. So for some of you guys that are wanting to know our story, my little brother Chris was actually my mom's first son. And what I mean by that is Chris, since birth, my dad has been like his dad. And my parents have been married. My mom has been in my life since I was 2. My daddy was a single dad until he met my mom. And she had Chris in college. And when we found out that Christopher was going to be blind, well, I was maybe only 2 or 3 at the time. When we found out that Chris was going to be blind, my dad stepped up, and my dad wanted to be in his life. My dad wanted to be in Boogie's life. We call him Boogie, but we wanted to be in Boogie's life because my dad didn't see him any different as any other son. And my dad didn't bring him up any different way. We didn't treat Boogie any different. And so Chris has been in my life my entire life, and I've been in his life his entire life. His mom is technically my quote unquote stepmom, but she raised me. That's my mama. And blood doesn't always mean that you're family. Who raised you, who took care of you, who was there, who gave up their dreams for you. That's what's considered family. And the reason why I brought Boogie on the show today is because I want you guys to see a living example of why I push so hard and tell you guys that you can be successful. There is nothing in life that can stop you. I don't care about any circumstance that you feel like you have. If this young man right here, 26 years old, can travel the country from New York to California, go play in little little bars and little jazz bars, go play in churches, can teach himself how to play the organ, can literally teach himself a lot. Chris, you got a phone?
As a matter of fact,
you do. Let me hold the mic so you can get your phone.
All right. Let me get my phone.
Okay, so you can get your phone. You got your phone?
Yeah, let me turn it on real quick.
Okay, so he's about to turn on his phone real quick, and he literally has a touch screen cell phone. He had a touchscreen cell phone. So, Boog, how do you navigate your touchscreen cell phone?
Well, normally, like, I will put it on the talk back.
Oh, so it got to talk back to you, right?
Yes.
Because it'll be impossible for you to use the touchscreen without
without talkback. I wouldn't be able to see the icons or the menus.
Okay. So and so you told me a while ago you had 2 phones.
Right. And I also got a a Alcatel flip phone right here.
And what's the flip phone for? That used to be your old phone, right? Is it still on, or does it still work or no?
Actually, this is a Alcatel Go Flip 3, and it has Google Maps and YouTube.
Oh, so it got that. Okay, so pull up your touchscreen phone again. Just put that phone, put that phone back in your pocket. That little flip phone. Okay, so it's I got the phone, I got the mic by the phone.
All right.
And so show us how you navigate and go through it. So how do you do it?
Let's see.
So you turn on the talk?
Yeah, I turn it on the talk back.
Okay. And then what?
And then I would ask Google like what time is it, and take me to YouTube and like
oh, so you talk to Google?
Yeah.
So
like if I go, hey Google, and then they go open YouTube. Let's see here. Hey Google, open YouTube.
Opening.
And then how do you know what to search on YouTube? Like how do you find it?
Like if I touch a icon, like it'll tell me which icon I'm at.
Okay.
Subscriptions, inbox, filters.
Okay, and then from there, that's how you kind of. So how do you search?
Well, like I would slide my fingers like this.
Library, YouTube video, search, account.
Oh, so you can get to the search part.
Right.
Okay, and then after that, then you also watch TV just like everybody else.
Sometimes I watch CNN 10.
So you like watching CNN 10?
Yes.
So that you can get updates on the news?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your phone back up so we can finish the show.
All right.
So the biggest thing that I want to show you is Christopher Boogie actually had here's your mic. Right. Boogie actually had the doctor said he had a 1% chance to live. He had a 1% chance to live. They said he wouldn't walk. They said my brother wouldn't talk. They said my brother wouldn't be able to have conversations. They said that my brother wouldn't be able to live on his own. They said that my brother wouldn't be able to cook, eat food without anybody's help. And Chris, do you make your own food?
As a matter of fact, in the morning, I make some oatmeal.
You make some oatmeal, so you know how to work the microwave, right?
Sure do.
So how do you know what buttons to press?
Well, like on the microwave, we know we put some stickers on there with some raised dots on there, so I can feel which one is the number 1, the number 2, and number 3.
Okay, so here's the biggest thing. The biggest thing that we got to understand is that in the world that we're living in today, especially during this coronavirus stuff, we have to, as a people, we got to make the decision that you're going to find the God inside of you, and you're going to learn how to experience success even with your circumstances. And when it comes to being there with your circumstances, you got to make the best out of what you have. See, if you spend time worrying about what somebody else has, worrying about what they got, worrying about how they got it, worrying about the abilities they have, worrying about the gifts that they have, worrying about that God gave them this and they didn't give me this, you will always be on the passenger side, on the sideline of life. And when I find myself complaining, when I find myself frustrated, when I find myself wanting to give up on myself, when I find myself questioning what God has for me, when I find myself dealing with difficulties of life, I literally just remember that my brother has been blind since birth. I remember that my brother has autism. I remember that my brother taught himself how to play the organ. I remember that my brother travels all across the country playing in little jazz bars. I remember that my brother is in churches playing with churches. I remember all the things that my brother. Do you know how many surgeries you had?
Not that I know of.
My brother's had over 15, 20 surgeries. He's had brain surgery. He's had stomach surgery. All inside of his body. And so when I remember everything that he has to deal with, how do I have the audacity to question God in his life, in his plans for me in my life? If I can see that my brother was able to overcome certain circumstances and still be able to perform in his best version of life, we got to learn how to stop ignoring the genius inside of us. We got to learn how to find the best versions of ourselves so that we can win, so that we can be successful, so that we can experience life. And we need to learn how to adopt the mantra that he goes by, which is don't what?
Don't complain.
Don't complain. Don't complain. We have, if you can see, you have the ability to think clearly. You don't have to take medicine. You don't have to have a guided help for the rest of your life. And you have the ability to get up off your butt and get up out that bed, and you can drive and you can make things happen. There is no excuse for you not getting out of yourself, for you not getting your butt up and making it happen.
Amen to that, brother.
and you got to do it, because if you do not, you're going to always be blaming everybody else for you not winning, and you have yet to take the responsibility of your life and put it in your own hands. And that's the key. Because when I look at my little brother, I see a superstar. When I look at my little brother, I see my hero. When I look at my little brother, I see my motivation. I see my inspiration. Because if he can make the best out of the life that we live today, if he can learn how to smile even through his circumstances, if he can learn how to make the best out of what he has and turn lemons into lemonade, what excuse did I have?
Yeah, no excuse at all.
I got no excuse. I got no excuse.
No excuse at all. You understand me?
I understand. I definitely understand. And we just wanted to do this show. We didn't want to be before you long, but I wanted you guys to see one of my hearts, and I wanted you guys to see why I'm always on y'all's neck about being successful, why I'm always on your neck about winning, why I'm always on your neck about I don't care about your excuses. I don't care. I don't care about your excuses. I don't care that you're black. I don't care that you're white. I don't care that you're Hispanic. I don't care that you came from poverty. I don't care that you didn't have everything set out for you. We didn't either. My brother didn't. Yet he's making the best of life. He's living life on his terms, of course, with the help of others. But you don't have an excuse. And so as you go through this coronavirus day and we're in isolation and we're being quarantined, I want you to think about this show. I want you to think about your circumstances and compare them to my brother's. And if you have the ability to think clearly, to go make it happen for yourself, go do it. Because life is too short. We got to understand that this life that we live in, we ain't gonna be in it long. It don't happen forever. But we got to make the decision to do for self. Because if not, nobody else will. This is Tayler Jacobs on the Brother Ben X podcast. And we out, baby.
Bismillah, rock mine out right here.
Trump dummy.
Get your money, man. Get your bread up. Gotta do for yourself. Know you fed up. Get your study on. All praise be to God. Stay read up. God never let up. Everyone that I'm around already know what I'm about. Build heaven on earth. Gotta catch up. Elijah, Muhammad Ali, Farrakhan, Malcolm X. Now, man, what about me? Get your money, man. Get your bread up. Gotta do it for yourself. Now you fed up. Get your study on. All praise be to God. Stay read up. I never let up. Everyone that I'm run already know what I'm about. Build heaven on earth. Gotta catch up. Elijah, Muhammad Ali. Farrakhan, Malcolm X. Now what about me? Be willing to die so that we can be free. Now if we don't produce, man, what we gonna eat? What we gonna eat? Yeah, man, what we gonna eat? What we gonna do if they cut off the street? If they block off them trucks, tell me what you gonna eat? What you gonna drink? See what I mean? What you gonna do? What I'ma do? I'ma stomach some food. Don't be a fool. That's Farrakhan lead. I'm in tune. Stay in the street. Change a couple cups.